Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wake Up with Toastmasters. My name is Jean Williams. I'm your Program Quality Director for District 115, which is Southern Nevada and a little piece of Utah. And this is my co-host, Jean Danford. Hi, Jean.
Good morning, everyone. That mute button keeps going behind me, and you're not plugged into your headset.
No, you're not plugged in. Oh, wait, or me also. That's what we get for having technical.
Is that better? I hope everybody can hear me now. This is Gina Williams. I'm your Program Quality Director. And speaking of Program Quality Director, I put on, if you looked at our title today, it's What is District Leadership? And I thought we would talk a little bit today, Gene, about what is district leadership, because we're at the changing of the guard. Okay, so yes, because our Toastmaster year is from July 1st to June 30th. So we have elections. Usually most districts have elections in May. So just to recap, I know we've done this before, and if you're in Toastmasters, forgive me for a second, but we have our club level, which is made up of our members. Above that is our area level, above that the division level, then the district level. And then of course, above that goes international. Well, what happens is that you have the club level at the area level. We have area directors, division directors, and then above that, the trio. So let's talk a little bit about the first step, area directors. If you haven't been an area director before, come on, now's the perfect time to do it. We're starting a new year. The pandemic's a little more under control than it was 2 years ago. There's exciting things happening in our district, and well, all districts, but in our district especially. One of the most exciting, I think, is I'm your new district director starting July 1st, but that's beside the point. We're into a time where we can be fun and creative and look at rebuilding and making things new and fun and fresh for all of our members. And so if you're interested in being an area director, please email myself or Ken Richardson, your Tuesday, Thursday host, one of us. Let us know, or if you are able to get to the d115tm.org website, D115, D for district, TM for Toastmasters.org. There you'll find the application to fill out for area director. When you say application, don't get overwhelmed. It's not a grueling, 6-week interview where you go 3 times in front of a panel of 12 people. No, it's not like that at all. It's a simple interview. And the reason for the interview is mostly so that you understand what the job is and you know more about what you can expect in the job. So look for that application, though, to get your paperwork in to let everybody know you're interested in being an area director. It's a 1-year commitment. You do need that to get to a year of district leadership to get your distinguished Toastmaster. So there's that, of course. But the other thing is you really get to help the clubs. This is the area director. You're in charge of 4 or 5 clubs, and you're the one who goes to the clubs and helps the clubs in any way that they need. Maybe this club might need something as simple as a banner, or maybe this club's struggling to find a venue. You might give them some suggestions or ideas. Another club might be really taking a punch and down to just 5 or 6 or 7 members. You need to get them up to a normal level. So there's just so many different challenges, but you are coordinating those. That shows your ability to do leadership. And if you're interested in being that or finding out more about that, we will be discussing area directors at our next enrichment night. And you'll see also information in the newsletter that's coming out next week. So look for all of that. Above that are our division level. Now that division directors are an elected position. So we did have our elections. We do now have all 4 division directors, and I'm excited. We have Larry Johnson, Jennifer Smith, who you all know and love from Wednesdays. And then we also have Anita Della Croce, who you've met on occasion. She's our guest host on occasion. And finally, we have, Phyllis Wall. Now, Phyllis Wall has done it before. So she's she's not been a division director before, but she has been an area director before. So we're looking for great things from her. So we've got just 4 great division directors, and those are the people the area directors report to. Above that is your new trio, they call it, and that is your new club growth director, which is Scott Transu. If you've been in the district for a while, he's a newer face. He transferred in from New York. Then we look at Ken Richardson, who you know as your club growth director, is moving up to program quality director. And I will be moving up to July 1st to district director. So that'll be the top of Southern Nevada and the little piece of Utah. So I'm looking forward to that. There's so many things that are going on in our district that are fun and exciting. We can introduce our newsletter. Anything you want to know, there's so much stuff packed in that newsletter. Please look for that and look for all the dates. And the really great thing is any of the virtual activities, like our virtual early bird, like our virtual enrichment night and early bird club officer training, which will both be on June 11th. He'll have the link to both of those in his newsletter so you can get right to the right place at the right time. Oh, so many fun things are happening and have been changed, and so many things to look forward to. I know Gene was in district leadership for a while back. He was an area director and then back then it was governor, area governor, and division governor, and then thought, maybe I'll do it again. So he became a division director. So you've been 3 years now in district leadership, right, Gene? So what would you tell people? Why should people become area directors? Oh, you're muted.
Hello there. I have been searching for us on Facebook Live, but I cannot find us. So hopefully we're out there on live. But why would I become an area director? When I first joined Toastmasters, I was in a club. I belonged to the club. I knew everything about the club. I knew the club level. They decided I should be president. Secretly, they had a gratuitous plan to make me an area director or area governor. But anyway, I said, okay, I'll do area governor. And when I got into that level of leadership, I learned more about Toastmasters and how Toastmasters works and how the purpose and how to support clubs. And it was a very large learning experience for me in working with committees and working with people and meeting all the different club leaders and going to all the different clubs to get to know them. And it was just an experience that I think everyone that's a Toastmaster should have.
Yeah, I agree. I think too many times people overlook how important area director is. I think you may not realize, but the difference is sometimes whether a club is very successful or perhaps not, might very well be with the area director, because a good area director brings information from the district to the clubs, but more importantly, brings information from the clubs to the area, because you don't know that a club's struggling just by looking at a piece of paper and statistics. You may not see, you might, oh, okay, that club has 10 members, no big deal, it's okay. But the 10 members might be just completely close to burned out, might be struggling, may not have the answers that are needed. There's so many things that can go on. And if that club doesn't have an area director or an absentee area director, which is just as bad, then that club struggles. And the best example I can give you is I was in a club that was exactly that. We were struggling, but we didn't get an area director visits like we should for various reasons, but we didn't have an area director that cared to visit us. It sounded good. We were doing okay. If you got a couple phone calls now and then, oh, everything's good. But what nobody saw and what we didn't know to express was that we didn't know how we were a corporate club. We didn't know how things outside of our club worked. We didn't have experienced Toastmasters in our club. Like most corporate clubs, people troop into a room, they hear about it, they like the idea, or maybe they've heard about it before, they join Toastmasters. So now you end up with, 2 or 3 people maybe that have had some Toastmaster experience, and then all the rest brand new, fresh out of the gate, don't know anything at all. And you do get a club mentor for 6 months. Hopefully they hang around for a year, but they're only required to hang around for 6 months. Well, in the first 6 months, you're really going over very basic things. So questions don't really come up because the few people in the club that might be experienced, they're already helping. It isn't until after that where people are starting to leave and feel that the club's independent, that's when the club needs their area director more than ever. And that we were in a situation where our area director didn't come. So the best example I can give you, and if you're a Toastmaster, you'll laugh at this, but we were so very serious. Contest came up and we just finished our contest season, so you might appreciate this story. Again, I said there's the club level, then the area level, then the division. So we were looking at, we had an international contest and tall tale. We had 2 that year. So I had tall tales and I competed in tall tales. Then we had international the next year. And I said, I want to be an international. And our president, who was very intelligent, she said, you can't be international. I said, well, why not? I said, I last year, so-and-so did it. This year, I want to do it. I want to do the international speech. She said, but you did tall tales last year. And now we have a problem because look, it says right here, a contestant can only compete in one area. And you competed in tall tales. That's your area. We didn't let you compete in international. It's a different area. I don't know what to tell you now. We've kind of pigeonholed you into tall tales and we didn't mean to. And that was that. So I never competed in international. I went tall tales the next year. And it wasn't until a couple of years later that I read that. And I was talking to someone. I said, oh, well, they've already competed in international. They need to stick with that. And they said, no, they can be in both. And I said, no, it says what? And everybody just started laughing. No, it means area. Like the group that is a group of 5 clubs, you can compete in that area. You can't go to every single area and compete in international in every single area. You can only do it in one area. And if we had had an area director that was coming to our meetings and visiting us, we would have asked her or him, and we would have got the answer right away and would have known. And you might right now be looking at the next world champion of public speaking, but I didn't get that chance. I don't know.
The one thing that's confusing to some people is you can compete in any club and you can complete, excuse me, you can compete in multiple clubs. So you can compete in every area, have one club in every area that you compete in. And then when you win at the club level, you have to select which area you compete in because you can only compete in one area contest. That is the strange thing. I know people who go and they try to win several different clubs so they can pick the area that they want to compete in. So, but it's a great story. I love hearing you tell it every time.
But there again, if you know what an area is, it's one of those, what the new phrase, if you know, you know, if you know, but if you don't. And that's, I guess my illustration is, if you're an area director, that people know who you are and they feel comfortable talking to you and they see you visiting their club, then, excuse me, then they're going to say, well, I would think, wow, I don't know if you're telling me, I don't know. I know the next time area director comes, which I think is what, in 2 weeks, I'll just ask area director because I would feel very comfortable talking to that person because that person would come often. So if you are up to the challenge of helping people make sure that they know they can compete or know when they can't compete, or just simple things like when are reports due, when are forms due, what does this mean, then you want to be an area director. There's so many, there's, for example, a distinguished club program, which no matter how they try to write that and put that on a sheet, it is confusing. If you're an area director and you're visiting your clubs, you're going to be able to explain about the distinguished club program, or even answer other questions. There's so many things, and even if you think, well, I'm not an expert, you don't have to be. Well, I've only been a Toastmaster for 1.5 years. That's okay. Well, the only club office I've ever held is secretary. That's okay too. It's what you'll learn a lot about leadership and about yourself being an area director, but most of your job will be helping the clubs. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, important, special job. And it takes a very important, special person who can see the beauty in all clubs and see the leadership developing in all clubs and just help those 4 clubs. So it's sort of like getting 4 new friends that you get to help, and it's fun. And the personalities of the clubs. And the other part is it does go the other way, where you visit a club and they're doing something really well. I'm going to steal that idea, take it back to my club. So there's fun there too. So if you're interested in being an area director, not too late. You still have about a couple more weeks to get your paperwork in, but let's get you on board. So you're getting your training in on board before July 1st or on July 1st. Oh, but division directors, now those we have elected. As I said, we're looking forward to those. And that was the year I learned the most about me as a leader, because I was leading area directors. And in my case, Jean had like, I don't know, 10 or 20, but no, Jean had, I think, 6 area directors. I had 4 because they did redistribute the district and give us a couple more, like another division, and split up that nightmare so that you don't have like 6 or 8 of anything. So I had 4 area directors, fabulous area directors. I think actually, and well, Anita was one of my area directors, and she's thought, see, it must have been that bad of experience because she's doing division director now. And the other 3 have all been area directors again, the second time.
I had 60 people at my area contest as guests watching the contest. 60 people.
So that's so if you don't know, that's significant, because most area contests get about 30, maybe 40, and that's considered a pretty big crowd. You might have seen bigger crowds at some of our area contests this past year, because if you really remember, we did multiple areas. So instead of just one area, it was 60 people. Maybe we had 2 or even 3 area contests at the same time. And so you're looking around going, well, there's 50 people there, but that was for 2 or 3 areas. So that is significant to have that many people, because you have that many clubs and that many people want to come. But the division director, though, is a task, a fun job in a different way, because now instead of leading, I kind of put it into you're leading program or people. As an area director, you're leading a program. Each club is a program, and you're leading each club, helping each club. And there's people, of course, but your program. As a division director, you're leading people, and that's your 4 area directors to help them. What do they need for their clubs? That's the one who they're going to bring the questions to you and say, this club is having this problem. And that's the one who makes sure they usually have meetings directly with the trio, so they can bring that to the trio's meeting. So the next time that division director meets with the trio, they're going to go down, well, number 1 area director needs this, and number 2 area director needs this, and number 3 needs this, and number 4 needs this. And the district tries to make sure that all that stuff goes out to where it needs to go. So both of those are very important jobs that truly are helping the club. Above that, there's a little more of a removal. Now you're back to leading either the program or people at a higher level. So you may not, I'm planning on visiting each club. I'm hoping at least twice, which you think, well, that's only twice, but we have 55 clubs, or fast approaching 60, I think. We're getting there. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of visits, a lot of places. But I do want to try to visit each club at least once, but hopefully twice, and see that. But me going as a district director, going and visiting a club twice, is not at all the same as an area director who goes every other month, or a division director who pops in on those times that an area director can't visit, and just makes and shows the face of Toastmasters and make sure that gateway is open and communication is going both ways. Wow. So then the next question is, what does club growth director do? Because you see it on Ken's record thing, and I know we've talked to Ken in the past, but club growth director, the district mission is to form new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. And I always call that the job description of club growth. It's to help those people who want to start new clubs, community clubs, or corporate clubs. If you have a company and you'd like to talk more about a Toastmaster club at your company, Ken Richardson's the one to talk to, or Scott Transfer in a few weeks. And that's the person who works with corporations who want to know more, government entities, city, government, nonprofits, all of those that might want to have a Toastmaster chapter or club. as well as community clubs. You want to say something, Gene?
Well, I was going to say, if you work for a company, you can bring it up to your human resources person or your supervisor and talk to them about starting a club at your company. It takes 20 people willing to join the club, and the company can be as involved in it as they desire, as far as paying for the membership and all of the things, or they can split it up so that the members are actually paying for everything. But it is a great benefit to the company to have their employees working together. I found that the people in the shop and the people who are supervising those people and the people in payroll and the people who are purchasing everything, they don't communicate. And if you bring them together and you get them communicating at a Toastmaster meeting, then the person who's ordering something has a relationship with the purchasing department, and they know each other and they work together more smoothly. And then sometimes you might have a person that says, hey, we've been making these dies with this little process over here. If we changed it and made the other process work that way, but you don't know that until you get the different departments working together. And sometimes it makes a great improvement in the company and the flow of business and everything by having your employees communicate better and work together. And Toastmasters brings that together.
No, you're very right, and not just the networking that they have at Toastmaster meetings, but also the skills they're learning at the Toastmaster meeting themselves, because the communication skills they're learning in Toastmasters, the listening skills, the communication skills equate to interviews for them to promote and be happier employees, but also for them to be able to listen and interact with your customers, which is what's keeping your business afloat, your customers. So look at Toastmasters as it's not just your people coming offline for an hour each day, each week, or every other week. It's you giving training to your people. And as Jean said, it can be no cost to the employer. It can be where the employer pays for everything, but it's still not at all an expensive organization, because you look at $100 to start a new club, $20 per member if they've never been a Toastmaster before, and then $55 for 6 months. So it's very affordable. So look for that. If you want to know more, reach out to either myself or Ken. So that's what Club Growth Director does. And they also help all clubs in achieving excellence. That's the other half of that equation. The Club Growth Director is the one that makes sure that area director reports are coming in. They make sure that information is going to the clubs. They, like Ken started the newsletter to that end, to make sure the members are getting the information they need. There's so many things that are done that we look at best practices. The best practice guide is being put together, just anything that can be done in that respect. And then above that is program quality director, which is what I am doing now. And that's training. So it sounds really fancy title for training, because everything we do, of course, we're a training organization. So one of the things I've done this year is we have enrichment night now, which is the second Saturday of every month, for you to come. It's online, which is really nice. You can sit in the comfort of your own home with your slippers on and just take classes that change every single month. But the one thing that is every month, which we're real proud of, is our new member orientation, new member introduction to pathways. So that's to supplement what the clubs are doing. So there again, it's the district giving back. Maybe you're in a club where you are mostly newer members, a corporate club, or perhaps you're just in a club that's a little bit smaller. Maybe you're, because you're online, it's hard to really sit down and interact with the new member as much as you would like. Maybe you don't have assigned a mentor to the new member, whatever the case might be. But now somebody's joined, and they're very unsure of what they're supposed to do or how things work. And maybe you've helped them, but you're not sure. That's where they can go to the new member orientation put on by the district. It's to supplement what you're doing. And that new member can meet other new members, have interactions, talk, learn about all the different meeting roles, what Toastmasters is, how it works. And then the very next hour, get an introduction to pathways and learn about how to pick their path, how to get signed up. That's our educational system in pathways, all the things they need to do. And now they've gone to a 2-hour training class that they're ready to hit the ground running and just everything's going to go great for them in your club. So all those things are going on in training now. What does the district director do? The district director oversees all of it, make sure everything runs smoothly, oversees possible conflicts, thinks it helps with new ideas and bringing things in that will help all the members, make sure that things are happening according to rules and regulations put out by Toastmasters International, kind of a little bit of everything. So that's for kind of the CEO of our district. And then of course our district is part of the bigger picture of Toastmasters International. So there you go. So why district leadership? It'll help you get your distinguished Toastmaster, number one. But number two, you can be part of making every person, every member's experience better, helping them, helping their club, helping everybody understand and do better. Yeah. Did you find us on Facebook, Gene?
Yes, I did.
Any good comments?
Yes, I have Steve Hollingsworth on and Jennifer is on. And if you're out there on Facebook, give us a shout on Facebook Live and say, hey, I'm here and this is the club I'm in. Steve, you know, we do what we do for Toastmasters because we love Toastmasters. So thanks. I would appreciate your thanks and appreciate all you do for Toastmasters as well.
Well, see, Gene, you missed it. Steve Hollingsworth was one of our educational speakers at the conference the weekend after this past weekend. And he absolutely fabulous. He did a wonderful thing about how to develop your character and how your character can be instrumental in your speech. It was just really fun presentation. So we're really excited about him. I had met you before, Steve, but thank you very much for being one of our educational speakers at our conference.
Yeah, Brandon Ward with Lunchtime Talkers is on as well. Hey, Brandon.
Well, it looks like, hey, all of our conference people are here. So Brandon was our keynote speaker. Brandon, people have talked about how powerful of a speaker you are, how incredible your keynote was. Lots of positive feedback. I haven't had a chance to tell you, yay, Brandon, great speaker. Lunchtime Talkers, great club. I was their area director. I went in, got to visit them. And again, every club has a different personality. And this is a club that is just really developing one another. I mean, everything about it was supporting and moving everybody together and moving everybody ahead. That is one thing. Camaraderie was like the word for that club. It was just, and they still are. You guys still are this really great club. Now you don't get fed because I think you guys are back. Are you back in person, Brandon? And remind us if you are there, remind us in our chat when you meet and where you meet if you're in person, if not virtual. But if you have a chance to visit them, you've got to visit them. Fun club. Oh, and hey, and you got Steve, Brandon, come on, you got to come on and be our guest on the show one day and get interviewed and talk about the show and talk about your club and what makes your club fun and unique. And then our other, just to round it out, be fair, Jamie French was our last educational speaker. He spoke about leading through change. And so his was more about leadership. Steve's was about communication. And then Brandon was our keynote. So we got 2 out of the 3 of a powerful trio of speakers that you guys had at the conference. I think the recordings will be released. I'm not sure. I think we're working on getting a video waivers or whatever it's called, video permission slips or something like that. Whoa, I think we are out of time. Any last minute comments, Gene?
Well, we have Brandon telling us they meet first and third Thursdays at noon on Zoom. They're still virtual. And Steve said he would be great to come on. So we'll have to get him an invitation and get both of them to come and be guests on the show. We'll set that up right away. We have the trio coming on next Wednesday. Jennifer and I will have the audacious honor to welcome our trio to Wake Up with Toastmasters. And find out the direction of the district from them and what's going to happen next. Brandon said he'd love to join the show. Twyla Scout is on also from Merced, California. So welcome, Twyla. Thanks for joining in.
Thanks.
District 33 in California is where Twyla is, and we were part of District 33 originally a couple of years ago, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
And-
that's true.
And yes, Steve and Brandon, we'll set up a time for you guys to come on the show. That'll be great.
Yeah.
We'll send you out the links and everything. Thank you.
So that sounds good. Future guest. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, if you missed the conference, I hope we can get that video out and you can see Brandon and Steve Hollingsworth. Incredible presentations. Oh, okay. So with that, we are out of time. Thanks everybody for watching us. And on Monday, we'll have Mark Your Calendar Monday. We'll go over all the things that are coming on. We'll have all the details about TLI, which are also the Early Bird Club Officer Training. And then we'll have all the information about the in-person. We'll look for that on Monday. And then as Jean said, on Wednesday will be our new trio being interviewed. And let's see if we can get Brandon or Steve, whoever's available next Friday. So we'll see what we can do. And well, let's go from there. So let's adjourn. Let's adjourn now. I don't have my gavel, but we will adjourn now. And we will, let's see, just a second. Sorry, you didn't mute. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you for, if you wrote in on chat, thank you very much, because then we know somebody's out there this early in the morning. And we will see everybody else on Monday morning. Wake Up with Toastmasters right here, 6 a.m. Thank you.